You thought you had accepted your dream job, but now you're in it, you think that your new job just might be a nightmare. If you act fast, you still have options, but you don't want to make a mistake. And that's why today we need to talk about the 5 signs that you need to quit your new job ASAP. So you can tell if you just need time to adjust or if you really need to get out of there. And make sure to stay all the way to the end of the video because I'm going to be asking you which you think is the worst new job red flag. Now, if you're ready to learn what they are, tap the like button and let's jump straight into it. The first sign that you need to quit your new job is you discover they've done the good old bait and switch. I mean, the bad old bait and switch. And friends, I cannot tell you how many times I have heard of this happening. You arrive at your first day and you find out that your job title has changed. Or you're settling into your first week only to realize that the job that they have you doing has changed. Or worse, you get your first paycheck and they find out the pay that they agreed to has changed. I mean, it's a good thing if they're paying you more, but that's not the way that that usually goes down. If your new job has been misrepresented in the hiring process and the job that you accepted changed before your first day, that's a big red flag, my friend. Now, I'm sure that we can make arguments about being flexible and businesses being fluid. However, there should not be a drastic change in the responsibilities of your role, and there especially should not be any changes in your title or pay before you even start the job. And really, the second new job red flag is an offshoot of this, but it shows up in a lot of different ways and has a lot of nuance. And that sign that your new job is going to be a nightmare is the company culture is not what they told you it was going to be. Now, of course, you're a savvy career bestie, and since you hang out around here, you did your due diligence. You asked questions in the interview process. You did your research. Maybe you even went all the way and did reference checks on them like I always want you to do. And they had all the right answers. And there was no red flags before you accepted the job. But now you're in the door and it's a different story. Because things are nothing like they made them seem. I have an IRL story for you guys on this one. So one person that I worked with was at a toxic company. They knew it was a toxic company. They knew it was a negative work environment. And they knew that was going to be very problematic in the hiring process. Now, this one individual who participated in most of the interviews being done at the company was prolifically lying to job candidates, even when they were told not to. And why were they lying, you ask? Well, when asked, he simply explained, if I tell people what it's really like, no one's gonna wanna work here. So he lied, and they thought that the company was this great company that they would be lucky to work for, only to walk in and discover the truth. So if the company in the hiring process said that they are transparent, but now you're in the door and you realize that they're secretive AF, or they talked about work-life balance, but you realize that everyone's working 12 hours a day. You need to believe what they do and not what they said. Now, I'm really curious if this has ever happened to any of you. So either tap the like button or drop a comment and let me know how this has shown up for you. Now, this next sign that your new job is going to become a nightmare is actually one that you can spot on day one, which means you could do something about it quickly. And of course, the faster that you act, the more options that you have. The third new job red flag is that you're on your own. You arrive at the office or log in for your very first day and you're so excited for your new job and there's no one. Nothing. Onboarding? What onboarding process? There's no training, minimal, if any, orientation, and your boss is nowhere to be seen. And really what they expect is for you to just figure things out on your own. Now, of course, if you can't figure out how to onboard yourself because you know nothing about the company, the product, the structure, and everything like that, well, they're gonna make it into a you problem. There is just little to no structure or process in order to help you succeed at your new job. And the thing is that when it starts like that, it's only going to get worse. Even if you're a self-starter, even if you are great at figuring things out on your own, it means that everyone in the company is being thrown into the deep end of the pool. And while a lot of people are going to figure out how to float, few of them are going to become world-class competitors. And what that means for you is that your colleagues are probably going to be unexceptional. And if you're okay with that, that's totally cool. But in my experience, in the conversations that I have with you, when you're exceptional, you don't want to be surrounded in mediocrity. You want to be surrounded in people that are great at their jobs, excited to learn, and even more excited to pay it forward. If you were one of the exceptional ones, let me know by tapping on the like button. Now, the next one might not show up right away, but you're going to start to see it quite quickly in your new job. And in my opinion, this next new job red flag really solidifies that this is not the job for you. And that warning sign is that your unique awesomeness quotient is not being leveraged. That's your UAQ. I assume because you're exceptional and all that, you took this new job in order to do great work, but it's becoming quickly apparent that you're not going to be given the opportunity to do work that you are fantastic at doing and that aligns to your highest potential path for career success and career advancement. Now, of course, you're not going to be doing high impact strategic work on day one. And if they're expecting that of you, that is a red flag on its own. But fairly quickly, you should be able to spot where your interests and strengths are really going to come into play and how your work is going to support your strengths. However, if you're finding that not only is your work not supporting your strengths, but actually it's catering more towards your weaknesses or the things that you're not so great at, this is really a sign for you that you're not going to be happy at this new job and maybe it's time to reawaken your job search. Now, of course, this one depends on you knowing what your UAQ is. If you haven't already downloaded my free UAQ starter kit, go and do so now because not only is this essential to find yourself in the right job, make sure that this job is for you, it is also going to unlock your highest potential and accelerate your career trajectory. It'll be linked in the description bar down below. At this point, we're 4 signs into it, and those flags might be waving, and you might be thinking, can I get my old job back? And this is actually very common, and we're seeing it increasing along with the Great Resignation. After all, you're probably stepping into a new job that someone else was running away from. In my next video, I am going to talk to you about getting your old job back, as long as it was not a toxic AF job. So if that is something that is on your mind, make sure you're subscribed, tap the notification bell so you see it as soon as it comes out. But this brings us to the 5th sign that you should quit your job, and if you see this red flag at your new job, you need to quit as soon as possible. And that sign is that you spot one of the 5 lethal toxic job signs. Now, there is a lot of signs of a toxic work environment. I could probably rattle off 50 different signs just off the top of my head. However, there's a spectrum to them. But what I have found is that these 5 toxic job signs are universal and everyone experiences these things to be toxic. Now, I don't want to bog you down in this video, so what I want you to do is head over to this video right now so that you know exactly what those 5 toxic job signs are. But before you go, if this video helped you, tap that like button. It really helps my channel, makes you my favorite career bestie, win-win situation. As always, my friend, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.